Hi everybody, it's my pleasure to introduce tutorial 2 of this NeuroMatch tutorial on double descent and over-parameterized models. Just to say a bit about myself, my name is Vidya Muthukumar. I'm an assistant professor in Georgia Tech, and I'm broadly interested in high-dimensional statistics and machine learning and signal processing. I also want to mention that the content of this tutorial was jointly created with Andrew Saxey from UCL. So the very high-level motivation for what you are going to learn about today is this mysterious success of very, very over-parameterized or very large neural networks. By this, we mean that, in fact, the state-of-the-art deep learning models that you see run in the real world today have a number of parameters that greatly exceeds the size of the training dataset on which they are trained. So to take an example from a few years ago, in the image or computer vision domain, a state-of-the-art models trained on the CFAR10 dataset, which consists of 50,000 training points, all consist of millions of training parameters. And in fact, all of these models are trained to 100% training accuracy or 0% training error, and yet these classifiers have very good test accuracy, which means that they in fact do generalize very well. And to take a more modern example, we see the same trend occurring today with the advent of very, very large language models. So these findings generated a lot of interest when they were published about 5 years ago and have inspired a lot of activity in the research community to understand exactly what is going on. And one thing that we do know about these types of models is that under certain conditions, over-parameterization helps us easier optimize our training objectives, so minimize training error. That's how we get those numbers of 100% accuracy. And moreover, we can find solutions with a certain type of inductive bias. Motivated by these observations, now we consider a more low-level motivation for what this tutorial is going to cover, which is the so-called double descent phenomenon, which shows an explicit benefit of over-parameterization even in very, very simple models, including random features and linear models. So the plot here depicts the test error as a function of the number of tunable parameters in a model, say a linear model. And on the left side of this plot, you see what you might have seen in your introductory machine learning class, which is the U-shaped bias variance trade-off, meaning that the test error goes down and then goes back up. However, in the over-parameterized regime, where the number of parameters exceeds the number of samples, you see something very surprising, which is that, in fact, the test error starts to go back down, and in fact, very often, the best models in this model family turn out to be the ones with the most number of parameters. And also, we notice that this phenomenon is not only observed in simple linear models, but also in real-world neural networks, and the plot here looks at the test error as a function of the ResNet 18 with parameter. So in this tutorial, you are going to see through a very simple experimental setup precisely under what conditions this phenomenon of a benefit of over-parameterization occurs, and you will learn why this phenomenon takes place in the real world. We will also look at the impact of some more subtle parameters, such as noise in the training data, or explicit regularization built into the training objective of the model on this phenomenon. And we will see that double descent does not, in fact, always happen. Finally, you will look at the impact of your optimization algorithm. In particular, we will see that only a specific initialization leads to this phenomenon of double descent. We will also touch upon connections to the human brain, and which also uses a large number of parameters for performing its computational and learning tasks. Thank you.